What's going on, guys, and welcome to another Doctor Who classic review. Today I'm going to be reviewing the 4th Doctor Tom Baker story, Destiny of the Daleks. This is largely regarded as the weakest and worst Dalek story of the classic era, and one of the worst Dalek stories of all time, to be honest. Now, I have seen this one once before, but it was quite a few years ago and I don't really have any memory of it, so this is basically my first proper time watching this, especially in a kind of analytical review sort of way. So yeah, it's a fairly new experience for me. I was really interested to see what Destiny of the Daleks would have in store after kind of hearing about what people said about it and that it was the worst supposedly of this era, of the classic era. So yeah, this is Destiny of the Daleks by Terry Nation. When the Doctor and the recently regenerated Romana arrive on a radioactive planet, the Time Lord has the strangest feeling that he has been there before. Exploring the ruins of an old city, it is not long before they discover the disturbing truth. The TARDIS has materialized on Skaro, original home to the evil Daleks. But who are the mysterious Movellans and what terrible treasures are the Daleks seeking? The answer lies but deep beneath the city. So there is the back synopsis of the DVD, and it's actually quite an interesting DVD. You know, you've got the Doctor and Romana, the new Romana arriving on Skaro. The Daleks are there. Davros is also there. Doesn't say that there. That's actually the treasure that the Daleks are looking for. It's Davros. You've also got the Movellans, this new race, which they turn out to be robots, pretty much. And yeah, so it's an interesting little back of the DVD there. But anyway, let's get started with the cast. So we start off with Tom Baker as the 4th Doctor, and Tom Baker is pretty good in this one. He has some funny little moments, like the whole oh look, rocks thing, which is just, I mean, the scene is really out of place, and it's just kind of there, but I don't know, it's so weird and wacky and just random that I like it. And generally, Tom Baker just has some funny moments here and there. He also has some more serious moments, you know, with Davros. He actually has a few serious moments with Davros, but also has a lot of kind of more, a lot of silly moments with Davros as well, which is a bit weird when you think of Genesis. I mean, yeah, that was the first time he kind of met Davros, but you know, he was very, very serious with Davros in that episode, I would say, from what I remember. So it's interesting to see how he is in this one comparatively. I think that is also just kind of the era. I mean, this is a completely different era to the show. This year kind of was a bit more of a silly year in a lot of ways. You know, season 17, it was a bit of a sillier season. So yeah, it does show that a little bit here. Doesn't really work as well with the Daleks, I don't think, but yeah, still, Tom Baker altogether, though, acting wise and everything, very, very good. He does have some great moments, like when he gets crushed by the whatever he gets crushed by, and he's reading a book. That's some funny little scenes there as well. Lalla Ward as Romana. So this is Lalla Ward's first story as Romana, and yeah, she's pretty good in this one. I think I get to like her more throughout her time, but she is pretty good in this one. She has a decent amount to do with this. She pretty much spends the first story, once she gets split up with the Doctor, she gets taken by the Daleks, and then, you know, she's with the Movellans for a little bit as well at times. She's with the Slayers, you know, with the Daleks, and yeah, generally she kind of bounces around all over the place. She has some great moments with the Doctor too, and yeah, I mean, the chemistry between Tom Baker and Lalla Ward is there straight away, so that is really cool. The other character that I did want to mention here was David Goodison as Davros. Now, Michael Wisher played Davros in Genesis. He was the original, and I think probably the best Davros. David Goodison took over for this story because I believe Michael Wisher wasn't available. David Goodison definitely doesn't bring as much to the role as Michael Wisher did. He's not quite as menacing. It just doesn't really work. The mask as well, it's the same mask that Michael Wisher used, and it really doesn't fit him very well. His mouth movements are very limited. It does look a bit crap. I think David Goodison puts in a good enough performance though. However, yeah, I just don't know if the character was not written quite as well this time, or if maybe he's just not putting as much into it. I don't know, but yeah, he's good, but he's definitely no Michael Wisher. Alright, so let's get on to the good and the bad, starting off with the good. Oh look, rocks. Yes, I put this in my good thing because I just think it's such a funny, silly scene. The Doctor and Romana, they land. He opens up the kind of, you know, display window to see what's outside, see where he is, and there's just rocks in front of him, and he just goes, "Oh look, rocks," and then just closes the thing. It feels so out of place, but it's funny, it's silly. I like it. I don't know. I wanted to put it in there because I just find it so silly. This is the first appearance of Romana too. Like I said before, someone else played Romana in season 16, the Key to Time kind of series, which I haven't seen yet. But I have actually just ordered it. I've just ordered the Key to Time, so I'm hopefully going to be getting that within the next week or so. I'll be able to do a collection update on that soon. But yeah, Romana 2, she's really good here. I think she's very good. Lala Ward, like I said before, great actress. And yeah, generally just an interesting character. Always cool to see a character, you know, especially another Time Lord character as a companion. Pretty big thing for the show here. So yeah, really good stuff. Daleks getting Davros back. So basically the whole thing with this story, or with the main setup of this story, is the Daleks want to go and get Davros back. Now it's a bit weird because Davros got exterminated by the Daleks at the end of Genesis. The Daleks killed him because they were basically saying, "You're not Dalek enough. We're gonna kill you. You may have created us, but you're not a Dalek." So they killed him. But apparently he had some secondary respiratory system or something, I don't know, some backup life support, and he was basically just sitting dormant in basically like the basement of the Daleks place for ages. But then the Daleks realized that they kind of need him to reprogram them to fight the Mavellans or something, so they decide to try and get him back, but the Doctor ends up finding him first. How it took them so long, like how they didn't get Davros, why did it take them so long to find him? I mean, surely they put him down there, right? Because they killed him. They didn't destroy his body or anything. They just like shoved him in the basement. So why did it take them so long to get down there? I don't really understand that. But yeah, cool. Get Davros is back. This is only his second time back. It's kind of his, you know, his second shot. So at this point he wasn't overdone. So yep, awesome to see Davros back with the Daleks. Like I just mentioned this a bit before, the Daleks and Mavellans both wanting to upgrade their computers to destroy the other one. So yeah, basically the Daleks want Davros to upgrade their computer systems to, I don't know, destroy the Mavellans. The Mavellans, turns out that they want, when they find out the knowledge and everything the Doctor has, they want the Doctor to upgrade their computer systems or whatever to make them better at destroying the Daleks. And then ultimately it's kind of a stalemate because Daleks are upgrading, Mavellans are upgrading, you end up just at the same point again, which is an interesting way of looking at it, I guess. A little bit strange, a little bit far-fetched, I think, but I mean, it's an interesting plot point. It is a bit kind of random, and I don't really know if it works too well, but it's something a bit different, I suppose. The bomb Daleks look pretty damn cool. I really like the bomb Dalek design. Some people say that the Daleks in this one, because they're kind of the Genesis Daleks, but they're a bit more bluey. You know, the Genesis Daleks are very like a dark grey. These are more like a light grey, almost into kind of a blue, sort of navy blue sort of colour, I'd say. It's really just a really light grey. Some people say they really don't like that because the lighting, they just feel too bright. I'd be saying that you've got the white and gold Daleks later on, so they're a lot brighter, but I actually really like these designs, especially when you've got the yellow and red bombs attached around them. I think they just look really cool, like as a figure. I think they look awesome. I really want to get the figure of those, but those, you know, the 5-inch figures anyway, they're pretty damn expensive. I was going to get the, you know, like the Destiny of the Daleks box set with, I think it's got the 4th Doctor, 2 Daleks and Davros in it, but I mean, it's pretty expensive. But yeah, I just think these Daleks look really cool. I really like them. And then finally, the Daleks killing slaves one by one is such a brutal scene. You know, the Doctor's got the bomb next to Davros. He's like, I'm going to blow Davros up if, you know, I'm going to do this. And then they basically, the Daleks are like, all right, well, we're going to just keep killing people one by one until you basically surrender, and that kind of works, and it's a really brutal scene actually. Although I do think this story, the kind of tonal shifts a bit all over the place, that scene in particular though I really do like. So on to the bad. There is a little bit to talk about here. First of all, Romana regenerating just as she feels like it. I think people have mixed opinions on this. I personally don't really like it. It's a funny scene, I guess, her changing, you know, she goes to like a really small little person, the Doctor's like way too small, regenerates into a really tall person. The Doctor's like way too tall, and then she regenerates into like a really busty, almost naked woman, and the Doctor's like, no, not today, thank you. And it's pretty funny, but at the same time, how can she just constantly regenerate as much as she feels like it? It just doesn't feel right to me. I've heard a lot of people say that, oh, if she's still in a regeneration thing, she can kind of pick and choose. No, the Doctor doesn't. You don't pick and choose your body. Gallifreyans, Time Lords don't pick and choose their bodies. That's not the way I see it anyway. So I don't really like that whole scene. The Daleks love repeating themselves. This is one of the main problems with this story. The Daleks are so annoying. When they first appear, when they find Romana, they keep shouting at her, stay still, do not move. They keep saying, do not move, do not move. Then she's literally backed up against a wall, not moving, and they keep shouting, do not move for another 30 seconds. And it just does my head in. It's so annoying. The Daleks in this one, they love repeating stuff over and over again. It really annoys me. The Daleks, to be honest, they barely do anything in this story. This is honestly much more of a Magellan sort of story, with kind of Davros and the Daleks a little bit in the background. The Daleks and Davros, to be honest, don't do a whole lot in this story, I don't think. They have moments here and there which are good, but really, they don't do a whole lot. You could have done this story with pretty much any other monster and it would have worked probably better. Also, what happened to the rest of the Daleks after the Doctor blew up all the ones that had the bombs around them? He blew all those up. He also, blew that one up that was in with Davros, but when Davros was putting all the bombs on the other Daleks, there was more than one other Dalek that didn't have a bomb on it next to him. So what happened to that Daleks? Surely there's more Daleks around the place. What happened to them all? I just think that was left a bit too open. And then finally, there's bad continuity with the Daleks being robots or not. I mean, the Doctor finds that bit of kind of Dalek mutant and he says, oh yes, I remember, the Daleks used to be, organic or whatever, and they still are. That's a thing that we know, right? I can't remember if that was really if that was implied in Genesis. I mean, it was, because the Khaleds, they were human. They got turned into the Daleks. But then here, there's a lot of stuff where the Doctor, the Daleks, Davros, the Movellans, they're all talking about both being robots, and that just isn't really true. I think there's a bit of continuity problem there. That just doesn't really work. Alright, so a little bit of rambling there. Ultimately, Destiny of the Daleks, what am I going to give it out of 10? Well, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. It's a little bit boring. Not a lot is going on for a lot of it. I think part 1 sets things up pretty well, but after the Daleks appear, to be honest, and after Davros appears, it just kind of feels a bit all over the place and just doesn't really work. There's not a whole lot going on. The things that are going on don't really make much sense. The Daleks don't really do anything. Davros doesn't really do anything. Yeah, some of the acting's not amazing as well, with the Movellans especially. Yeah, it's just one of those stories that really just doesn't really click, I don't think. So yeah, a 5 out of 10 for Destiny of the Daleks. But anyway, that's going to be it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed, please go ahead, like and subscribe. Go into the description and follow me on Twitter, that would be awesome. And I'll see you guys in the next video.